Hi Pisces, welcome. So Pisces, this is going to be a reading. I'm going to start with the general messages and then we're going to go into the love reading, the you versus them. My readings are timeless, so I just trust that whenever this finds you, that's when it's for you. And let's go ahead and get into it. And right off the bat, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, all right, let's get into it, Pisces. Let's see who we have coming through. You have the card of Saturn out. This card talks about discipline, structure, responsibility. Sometimes it can feel a little bit like a testy energy, but it's all about your self-control and how you handle yourself under pressure. It's encouraging the mature approach, Pisces, and to be a little bit more ambitious with your goals or whatever it is that you're trying to attain. So let's see what else. Actually, I want to try these cards. See what the Osho Zen has to say for my Pisces. Pisces. You have the card of past lives, conditioning, and the inner voice. So it's interesting that I got the card of the past and next to it the card of conditioning. So, you know, a lot of our conditioning comes from our childhood, comes from quite literally our formative years, right? And sometimes we're not even aware of the way we've been socially conditioned, whether it be through parents, our religions, our schooling, etc., etc., etc. But a lot of times we're born into set belief systems or set structures that we carry out throughout our entire lives. And a lot of people never even questioning that, just kind of going along with it because that's how mom did it, that's how grandma did it, that's how great grandma did it. You know what I mean? But I feel like during this time, Pisces, Spirit is asking you to kind of take a look at those core belief systems and where does it suit you and where does it not suit you so much, right? Because I feel like there's some limiting beliefs here that may be hindering you from really feeling as good about yourself as you could, or as good about your future, or particularly your ambitions, your goals. What social conditioning is holding you back there? Whether it be beliefs again about yourself or the structure of work, like how success rolls into your life. What are your thoughts about that? What are your beliefs about how success is generated and how it flows to you, most importantly? You also have the card of the inner voice, which is talking about listening to your inner voice, listening to your intuition. You know, breaking patterning that, again, no longer serves you. Sometimes it is ourselves that condition ourselves to believe things that serve as barriers for us. For example, you know, you might have thought from an early age that you're just not good at this, you know, whatever this is. And so you've never really tried, you've never really practiced, you just assume I am not good at this. And therefore you never do become good at it because you get what you believe in, you know, whether you want it or not. And self-limiting beliefs do just that. They limit oneself. They limit your growth. So they're really asking you to look at where in your life may you have some self-limiting beliefs that are hindering you, because your inner voice, your higher self, your inner guidance is trying to lead you, Pisces, to your path of least resistance, and always leading you to believe in yourself more, to love yourself more, to believe in your deservedness more, right? And I just noticed too that this card of Saturn also has the word wisdom on it. So this is kind of like learning from your past as well, and then applying that to whatever you have going on in the now. So I was attracted to these cards. I'm going to use these cards, but we're going to go a bit deeper and see what else is going on for Pisces. Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So Pisces, the Nine of Swords to me is like feeling stressed, quite literally. You know, this person is worried, they're up at night, they're not getting any sleep. It's like kind of like this restless energy. And it's next to the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups in this deck is all about being open to new possibilities, you know, being open to new friendships, new connections, new ways of doing things, right? So when I put it together, it's almost like, you know, I don't know if you're having anxiety about opening yourself up to new pathways or new friendships or a new connection, but it definitely seems like there seems to be some stress going on around that area of your life, or perhaps within relationships. Then you have the Ace of Swords, which in this deck is all about finding the answers, having the clarity, right? Like, this is her intuition speaking to her, helping her make things make sense. Her, him, whatever. It's a general read. And then the Ten of Swords in this deck is about clearing the air, starting over. Yes, it's an ending, but it's mostly a new beginning, right? So I feel like there's an opportunity here with whatever this is that you are stressing over to get the answers, to get the clarity that you've been seeking, and to have closure and or at minimal clear the air. So let's see what else is going on. Some of you are worried that well, let me say this better. I get a sense of, Pisces, that there's like an opportunity here for you to go a new direction, and or you're trying your hardest to be open-minded about something, but yet the stressors seem to be weighing on you more than the opportunity, and they're asking you to kind of pivot that energy, right? Like, I feel like some of you, it's like you have something you're wanting to attain here, but then overthinking it or overstimulating yourself or kind of getting in your own way. But I feel like the answers are here, and I heard clear and evident, and it's going to be made evident to you once you stop dwelling on the what ifs, okay? Or whatever this is that seems to be causing you stress. Let's go further. I also get like kind of a serious vibe, which I feel like Pisces energy is usually so chill. But I feel a sense of seriousness here, okay? Justice, the Moon, Death and Rebirth, and the King of Pentacles. So I feel like there's like this back and forth going on as well, where you're trying to find balance with your own emotions. Some of you are just going through a lot of life changes. You know, I'll tell you, for the collective, huge, huge shifts, you know, in the energy for all of us, okay? Within the collective, as well as like astrologically speaking, as well as like societal changes, you know? So it's a lot, and it could feel very overwhelming, especially if you fear change, or you're somebody who, you know, gets out ahead of yourself and starts overthinking your future. There's a sense of like feeling a little bit overwhelmed here. With the Justice card, it's all about finding your balance in the midst of all of that, right? But the Moon also represents Pisces. So some of you, like, you know exactly what to do in this energy. You know how to chill out. Like I said, you're the most chill sign of them all, in my opinion. Like, you know how to take a breather and detach yourself or step away when things feel overwhelming to you. And so I feel a sense of ease, a sense of calm coming in, or you being able to find your balance amidst all of what is going on here. The Death and Rebirth card is Scorpio energy for some of you, but it's also talking about endings, changes, transformations, and it's next to the King of Pentacles, right? So quite literally, you might have some changes going on in a relationship with a Scorpio or an earth sign, but it doesn't have to be that. It's a general reading. It could also be, to me, a sense of feeling ungrounded almost, but at the same time grounded. It's kind of a weird position to be in, or a weird energy that I'm feeling. I get for some of you, like, it's just like a weird situation that you're finding yourself in, and like trying to stay grounded, but knowing like something has to change or something has to end here. The King of Pentacles to me is like, you know, this is somebody who's very comfortable, you know, with where they're at and who they are, and maybe even a little stubborn, maybe a little too comfortable to where they don't adapt to change very easy. So on the flip side of that, Pisces, you could be dealing with somebody who is maybe stressing you out because they don't handle change well, and maybe you do, or you're trying to go into the direction of change and it's like dragging a dead weight behind you almost. For others of you, it's not about another person, it's about you kind of dragging your own dead weight around. You know, where are you putting up resistance within your own energy when it comes to this? And a lot of you, it has to deal with, again, past conditioning. Okay, so let's go a little bit further. See what else Pisces need to know. Don't rush to conclusions. Don't rush to decisions. Sometimes it's easy to like let your mind get away from you when you feel like you don't have the big picture, you don't have the answers. And the Eight of Swords, you know, is like projecting fear. You see, like this person is actually okay, but they're projecting that they're not going to be okay, or this very like fearful, fear-based energy. And again, this could be you, Pisces, or it could be somebody you're connecting to. And the Knight of Swords in this deck to me is always about jumping to conclusions. It is fast-moving communication, but it's not well thought out. You know, it is not using your words wisely. Okay, so be careful with that, Pisces. And if you're on the receiving end of that, say somebody is not careful with their words and maybe even brash or cutting, just remember that's personal to them, not you. You know, how people present themselves, how they choose to communicate, their behaviors, their moods, all of that, they get to pick that. They get to choose that, you know. Just keep that in mind, that you don't have any control over that. However, you do have complete control over how you choose to respond, how you choose to communicate, who you choose to be, right? And I think that's kind of a hard concept to get your mind around if you're new to the spiritual game. But those of us who've been in the spiritual world for a while and we know about law of attraction, it's a pretty elementary, you know, school of thought. Okay, so you get what you put out, and the only thing you have control over is what you put out, what you give to the world. Your gift to the world is your essence, is your energy, is how you hold yourself. You could either be an inspiration for other people or not, you know, like, and you get to choose. You don't have to live your life to be an inspiration, but doesn't it feel better when you could inspire? You know, it just feels good to be in that position or in that energy where you're not only inspiring others, but where you're also inspiring yourself. And it is a conscious choice. It is how you carry yourself. It is how you represent yourself. It's how you choose to be that matters the most. Not necessarily how other people perceive that. Although to some degree they're going to pick up on the energy you're genuinely putting out. But it's mostly just about feeling good about yourself at the end of the day. That's what matters the most. I'm feeling good about me. I'm feeling good about me. I'm choosing to feel good about me regardless of what anybody else has going on, or regardless of what they choose to see in me. You know, it's almost like you're on the path to like self-discovery in a lot of ways, and there could be, you know, a lot of monumental like epiphanies that are coming through for you, or moments for you where you're just slowly deciding who you want to be. You know, like each phase of our life, I feel like gives us an opportunity to express a different piece of our character, which, by the way, you're in charge of your character and you may change it at any point, right? And so what character do you want to play? That's the question. So let's see what the guidance is, and then we're going to go to the love reading for my Pisces. Card number 38. I can stop attracting don't wants by by my, let me say that again. I can stop attracting don't wants by attention to do wants. You cannot rid the world of things that bother you. You have got to rid your vibration of things that bother you. And when you rid your vibration of things that bother you, nothing that bothers you can come into your existence. But you cannot really rid anything from your vibration because there's no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. The only way to stop attracting something you don't want is by giving your attention fully to something you do want. But you have to take the steps. Ooh, good advice. All right. Wow, interesting start. We're going to go to the love reading now and see what else we got cooking. Stay right there. I'll be back in just a second. And welcome back. All right, now we're going to go into the love reading. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting to. Keep in mind it's a general reading, so the roles can be reversed. Feel free to flip it if you need to. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Yes, it's usually about an intimate partner or perhaps an ex, but not always. Sometimes it's going to pick up on a family member, a friend, whoever is probably most in your energy. Okay, so let's see. You have the card of patience, card number 7, and this person has the card of guidance, card number 3, and you can see similar energies here. This is, to me, is the Empress in traditional tarot. So this is about patience, being calm. It's a very warm and caring and inviting energy, but it also talks about things coming to fruition. This person has the card of guidance, which quite literally means to me that they're receiving guidance from spirit, their angels, their intuition, and or they may be in a space where they are needing some guidance. So let's get into it and see. We're going to look at most recent past and what led up to the now. And then how you're perceiving each other and how you feel underneath it all and most likely outcome. So let's get it. Most recent past for my Pisces. Excuse me. You have 10 of Pentacles. The Lovers. I can't start hiccuping, sorry. And the Tower. So there might have been some changes in your family dynamic or household or within this connection in the recent past. The 10 of Pentacles to me is like an establishment or an established connection, relationship, family. The Twin Flame Soulmate card is here, just signifying you may have a very deep connection with this person. And then the Tower. So I saw a lot of changes coming through in the spiritual reading. And this talks about change as well as transformative type of vibe. So literally, quite literally, this connection could have went through some sort of transformation in the past or recently. Oh, excuse me, my clothes are falling off. I mean, not quite literally, but my overalls came undone. All right, so let's see what this person's recent past was for Pisces. What is their recent past? The Emperor, the Death and Rebirth card, and the Eight of Swords. So this person has also been going through their own changes, endings, transformations. Okay, and I just want to say this. I heard the term lockjaw. I have no idea if that's even why I'm getting that, but just, I don't know. Somebody's suffering from that. Weird. Take it or leave it. Anyways, the Eight of Swords. I feel like this person has been kind of suffering, but I feel like a lot of the suffering is from the way that they're thinking about things, the way that they're perceiving things. And I also heard it's their choice, but I don't feel like this person is consciously choosing it. You know, like I don't feel like they are super aware of the role that their thoughts play in their own life and in their own experience and how important that is, right? Because I feel like this person really wants a sense of control, but the way that they're going about it actually kind of causes their suffering sometimes. Like they overly do it or overly dominate. You know, they use their action more than their energy. And don't get me wrong, we live in an action-oriented world. But you could do so much more with energy work and alignment than you could ever do with physical action, as far as like being able to attract the right timing, the right person, the right energy towards you. So I feel like this person's mostly unaware, or at least in the past, they were very unaware of energy or energy work or how that works, and just using like sheer force, control, or maybe even manipulation to a high degree, to kind of move, to get what they want, to move things around, you know, in their life, so to speak. So let's go to the now. That was the past. So how do you see this person in the now? What is your perception of them in this moment? Queen of Wands. Yeah, I get a sense of like this person making things harder than they need to be, or at least that's maybe how you perceive it, Pisces. You know, because I'm getting the song, "You took the long way home." Don't ask me who sings that. He took the long way home. He, she, whatever. And the Ten of Wands to me speaks of hard work, dedication, but it also speaks of going about things in a hard way, right? In a burdensome fashion. So I feel like it's kind of back and forth in the way that you view this person. Sometimes I feel like I'm just gonna can I say it? Oh, the words want to come out so fast. Sometimes I feel like you think this person makes things more difficult than they need to. You know, like they may not think things all the way through, or they may find themselves like lost in thought. There seems to be like some sort of imbalance here, where on the other hand, I feel like at the same time, this person is like very inspiring, or has the ability to be very inspiring, very playful, you know, that they actually value balance and fairness, but at the same time, they like get in their own way. They get in their own head. They may project their own fears, and yeah, just make life difficult. For you, for them, for all of the above, I don't know, but that's kind of what I feel there. So let's see how this person views you, Pisces. Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Sun. Well, this person actually thinks very highly of you. I mean, they see you as loyal, dedicated, somebody that is easy to work with. It's funny because you're like kind of seeing this person as a bit difficult, and they're seeing you as easy. I won't tell them if you won't tell them, but it seems like this person may actually be, you know, inspired by your strength. They're happy to be around you. They love your positive energy when you are being positive. And they themselves might categorize themselves as like a positive, bright person, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't, I don't know. I don't feel you seeing them that way quite literally in the now. Doesn't mean you've never seen them that way, but in the now I don't feel that. So that's kind of interesting, right? Like your perception versus their perception. Because I feel this person being quite hopeful and happy about either life or you or the connection. Like, one of you feels like you make life easier, and the other one feels like you make life more difficult. So let's go into the heart space then and see underneath it all, how do you feel, okay, towards this person? How does Pisces feel? The Empress, the Hierophant, the Three of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So in your heart of hearts, Pisces, I feel like you're trying to be patient here. You're trying to be understanding, nurturing, caring to do the right thing, not just for yourself, but I feel like for everyone involved or for this person. And yet the Three of Swords is here. So I do feel like you're on the mend from a broken heart or things that have really hurt or pained you. That's kind of caused you to go into like a very reflective space, because sometimes I feel, Pisces, that over-giving, that over-nurturing, caring piece of you can overdo it, right? To the point where maybe you have extended yourself further than what was actually reciprocated to you. And now it's kind of like, well, I need to be a little bit more thoughtful, or I need to be more discerning because of that, right? I think some of you are kind of taking things that have happened in the past or things you've learned in the past into consideration as well, before you just like open your heart or give your heart away. At the same time, I do feel you trying to be patient about the situation, or understanding, if nothing else. So let's see. How does this person feel underneath it all? Ace of Wands. Well, there's just all sorts of fired up here about you. Okay. Queen of Cups. That's you. Page of Cups. And the King of Cups. Goodness gracious. This outfit. Sorry. Keep on the flash you. Okay. Wholly emotional. They got the whole suit of cup characters here. Could be dealing with a fellow water sign, but doesn't have to be. I would say this person's got a sensitive spot for you. I also heard sore spot, so be careful. Sometimes sensitivity is a good thing, but sometimes it can be your worst enemy, in the way that if we're too overly sensitive, whether that be to our own needs or other people's, we sometimes overextend ourselves. We take things too personal. We become quite moody. And this person may have the ability or the capability of doing that, Pisces, where they get super involved in their emotions, super fired up, that it may even be difficult to handle, or difficult for this person to handle. Oh, yes. And that's what makes it so difficult for you. Remember I was saying earlier, like, this sense of like, you know, this person making it more difficult than it needs to be. And I think that's because they feel so deeply, or they might be a very deeply emotional person, or a very sensitive person, even if they don't show that on the outset. It's just because they're passionate, especially if they're passionate about you, especially if they love you, right? And I do feel a lot of emotion in this person's heart space. And I do feel a lot of passion or interest towards this connection here. But I feel like they've got some things to sort out, you know? They've got their inner child here, their own feminine energy, their own masculine energy. It's just a lot, you know? It's a lot of different emotions going on. So let's see most likely outcomes then. And don't forget, this could always be vice versa. They could be seeing you as the emotional one who's making life a little bit more difficult for them. So take what resonates. All right, most likely outcome for Pisces, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, Death and Rebirth. Why do I feel like that card is already out? The High Priestess. So there's a sense of like wanting to kind of wall off, or maybe just kind of like focus on yourself, work on yourself. And at the same time, there's like this energy kind of pulling you outwards, pulling you towards getting out there, being a bit more social. I think you're going through a lot of maybe life changes or emotional changes during this time frame, or perhaps throughout the rest of the year. If nothing else, through Scorpio season, which would be November time frame. But these are all being led by spirit. Like, these are all changes that are being led by your own intuition, Pisces. So these are changes that you can trust, right? That you can know and have faith that you are being guided. You're always being guided through your path of least resistance, through your emotional guidance system. Intuitively, you may know there's some changes coming. And I feel like there's things to celebrate too coming in. There is Sometimes the Four of Wands talks about union, you know, so for those of you in separation, there could be union, but it's just about doing things for yourself that feel good to you, and that bringing about positive changes in other areas of your life, because energy is contagious, right? Like, nobody can make your life difficult unless you're giving them the permission and the key to be able to do so. Just remember that, right? So let's see this person's most likely outcome for now. Page of Swords, the Wheel. This person, they don't always be trusting in the laws of the universe. They might not even be aware of law of attraction, I'm not sure, but the Page of Swords is like a very untrusting energy. The Wheel talks about karma, Six of Cups. They may fear something from the past is going to pop up and kind of like bite them in the ass again, is what I heard. So this could be like a repetitive pattern or issue that's come up in this person's life. You know, in the past, I did pick up that this person kind of gets in their own way. And it could be that they may potentially do that again. You know, things we don't heal from the past will repeat until we've healed that. And when I say healed that, what I mean is literally taking a look at ourselves, the role we play in it, the thoughts we're thinking, and change our thinking around it. That's what I mean by that. So if this person has not done that inner work, you know, then they are nowhere near, you know, truly healing this. That doesn't mean that they can't make progress, but it's something that may take them time. But I feel like this person may make a mistake from the past, return again, because they haven't quite soothed this in themselves. The Knight of Swords sometimes talks about communication also. If this is someone from the past, by the way, they may be coming forward with communication. If you've not had communication with this person, they're still aware of what you're up to. I don't know if they're online stalking or they're hearing gossip from other people, but that may bubble up as well or present itself, okay? Or that might be a situation outside of this one. So take what's resonating, because I'm getting a lot of different ways this could play out. But this person needs to be careful that they're not repeating the past. And that's really what the guidance from Spirit is for them, if they've been brought to this reading, is to pay attention to that and to choose a different pathway, a different reaction, a different thought, so that they don't recreate a mistake. You know, well, Spirit doesn't see any mistakes, but what this person deemed as a mistake from the past. And if this... Sorry. Don't mind my frog noise. I also want to say it is a possibility, if this person has made a mistake in the past, that they come forward about that now. Okay, so let's see what the guidance is then for this reading. What is the guidance? Card number 51. I can always enter my vibrational vortex of creation. The key to getting inside your vibrational vortex of creation, of experiencing the absolute absence of resistance, of achieving complete alignment with all that you become and all that you desire, and of bringing your physical experience everything that you desire, is being in a state of appreciation. There is no more important object of attention to which you must flow your appreciation to that of yourself. You get what you want by flowing appreciation to yourself. Very exciting and interesting. Wow, so I'm going to leave it there for now, Pisces. Zodiac signs that you may be connecting with or have in your own chart. I have a lot of Scorpio references, but it could also be Pisces, Cancer. I also have Gemini here, Leo, Leo again, Aries, Taurus, Taurus again, Gemini again, Scorpio again, Libra. And Aries again. Those are the primary signs I'm seeing. Keep in mind it is a general, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future content. You can catch me on Facebook for more fun stuff. All of my social media is linked in the description, as well as in the About section. Otherwise, I'm wishing you the very, very best, Pisces. And until next time, my friends, namaste. Bye.